Oh, sorry, I was just reveling on how much this runs and controls compared to the Shadow of Zorro. Sorry about jumping straight into another stealth game, but Zorro's ineptitude left me with stealth blue balls, so I needed something to fill the void. I saw this on my shelf, it's called Spy Fiction, and look at the cover. If this doesn't scream mid-2000s stealthy espionage game, I don't know what does. Published in 2004 by Sammy. You know Sammy, right? No, neither do I. And developed by Access Games. Now they I do know. They made Lords of Arcana and Drakengard 3. Also Deadly Premonition. Like most developers, they have their hits and misses, and Spy Fiction seems to be their first outing, so let's see if this hits or misses. Then anything after the Shadow of Zorro can only be a hit in comparison. Ooh, a 60Hz mode. This is already superior. Apparently a game called Spy Fiction is a work of fiction. Who knew? The Special Execution Agency, or S.E.A, are about to infiltrate the stronghold of Enigma, an elusive terrorist group. 3 members of their Phantom unit are sent in: Billy Bishop, Sheila Crawford and Nicholas Knightwood, 2 of which are playable, Billy and Sheila. Usually 2 different playable characters means different difficulty levels. Here, yes and no. You already choose a difficulty level prior. The only difference is how disguises are handled, but I'll get onto that. The game throws you in the deep end without much of a tutorial. This is because it does that thing where the prologue is part of the climax.
I'm ready for it. There's no turning back for me now.
Whatever you want.
Which abruptly ends giving you no idea what's going on. There's snow and soldiers, ladders and walkways, a dodgy looking German, Nicholas is captured, and some Russian dude in a church.
Humans. Such frail, pathetic creatures.
What just happened? After that confusion, the game starts from the actual beginning.
Good morning. Let's skip the formalities and begin the briefing.
This is Eve. She will outline the mission briefings. S.E.A have intelligence that Nanotech9 Inc. are creating illegal biological weapons. So we need to sneak in and confirm this. How? With the cunning use of disguises. Sneaking about in the usual way will only get you so far. Dressing up as employees and blending in is the way forward. Carrying around multiple sets of clothing would be cumbersome, but this is a spy game and that means technology. Equip the 3DA camera and obtain someone's facial and clothing data, and you can become them via a holographic shell. This does have its limitations: no jumping, climbing, weapons, and for some reason no crawling through the air vents while in disguise. Because you'll get your hologram clothes dirty? I don't know. And no changing anywhere you like. You can only change in certain places like lockers, barrels, toilet stalls, etc. I guess being able to change absolutely anywhere would make the game a bit too easy. As I mentioned earlier, there is a slight difficulty difference regarding the disguises. Billy can only wear male disguises where Sheila can wear both. Like Jill Valentine before her, she has been relegated to the easy option. Make of that as you will. Finding information isn't the usual computer files or data logs. Another feature of Spy Fiction is eavesdropping. Some NPCs will have balloons over their heads, indicating if they're alerted or talking, usually to themselves.
How come the password changes every Thursday?
Before listening in, the vocals are this garbled nonsense. Did the voice actors have to record that? Was it scripted? Okay, rolling. Cut, again please. No, damn it, the third sound is not I said You said Does it really matter? Yes, otherwise it'll sound stupid. From the top. Nanodynetech are creating Lauder, a deadly virus that can kill in seconds, and Enigma are not the only ones interested in Lauder. Here we have Kelly Wong, who will unveil Lauder to investors. Where? On her opulent airship with bar, casino, strip club and restaurant.
Come on, everyone! Let's all take a ride in my balloon/casino!
This thing is huge and possibly the best mission in the game. Plenty of environment to explore, employees and guests to imitate, and if you photograph Kelly but just get her clothing data, you can make Sheila look like this. Anywho, Lauder is demonstrated on this unfortunate monkey in front of the investors, along with its supposed creator, Dr. Kaysen. You know too much, fatty. The subplot behind Lauder's true creator, Dr. Coleman, is definitely the best twist in the game, but I won't spoil that. The other megalomaniac wanting to kill all humans is Colonel Lysander. Betrayed by the government and will launch missiles loaded with Lauder onto populated cities if his demands are not met. This is the plot of The Rock, isn't it? Billy and Sheila are no Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery, but at least there's no Michael Bay in sight. And borrowing, shall I say, leads me into what we've all been thinking from the start. So let's address the elephant in the room with a little segment I'd like to call, Gee, that looks familiar. 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 Gee, that looks... Oh, that's Mission Impossible. But still. Colonel Lysander isn't the last antagonist. Remember the creepy German and Russian in the prologue? Towards the end, you revisit this mission for real with some additions. This is where it gets weird, but if you're copying a Hideo Kojima game, that's to be expected. 3 antagonists seems a bit excessive. It would be 4, but you never actually fight Kelly Wong, so I'm not counting her. Dietrich and Scarface want to use Lauder for, you guessed it, revenge. Come on, Access Games, if you're going to give us 3 bad guys to fight, at least give them unique motivations. I got a little peeved of how much of an inspiration Max Payne was to Made Man, because it was a poor copy. Metal Gear Solid 2 was a big deal at the time, and Access Games just wanted a piece of that pie. Unfortunately, the world is full of rip-offs, but when the rip-off is done well, and does a few things different enough to carve its own identity, we don't mind as much. A good example is the Uncharted series. When it first came along, many Tomb Raider comparisons were made. You search ancient locations, fight rival treasure hunters, solve puzzles, etc. But we don't mind this because Uncharted is fucking awesome. Do I mind that Spy Fiction's a blatant Metal Gear Solid wannabe? No, because it's good. It runs super smooth, it controls really well, the variety of tasks you're given keeps it interesting, the plot's a bit cliched but originality is a dying art. Access Games, like all developers, wanted their first game to be received well, and retreading a tried and true path made it a safe bet. A little shameless, yes, but it's acceptable as long as it doesn't suck. And this doesn't. Check it out.
Back in the hole. Back in the hole.